The manufacturing industry is expanding across Alabama. Meanwhile, researchers from Alabama A&M University take a look at the impact this business has on us statewide. Our Kenesha Dees has the details on what quality of life this brings for Alabamians.
Researchers say corporations have moved to the South because of tax incentives and lax labor laws. But what about the workers? Researchers have the answers.
When asked if people have enough money to get by, not a single Black respondent agreed, and only 14% of white respondents thought folks have enough money to get by.
A startling number reported by Alabama A&M University. These numbers come from a survey of workers from Anniston. However, North Alabama is no stranger to how manufacturing companies affect communities.
You wonder with these new manufacturers setting up here, what would be the environmental impact? And I think it's the job of the coalition, but also the job as the general public to begin asking these questions.
3M, which has been in Decatur for decades, is facing a string of lawsuits filed more than a year ago regarding contamination. One includes a lawsuit from Decatur City Schools claiming that, quote, chemicals leaking into a creek, groundwater, and the Tennessee River, end quote. Working conditions and workers' compensation also a long-time concern in the industry. One former manufacturer worker shared his experience after being injured on the job.
Followed the company's guidelines and was examined by the doctor the company designated me to see. The doctor denied me based on his claim that my condition was due to hereditary. I had to use all of my personal and vacation time to recover.
These companies and other local governments should be working together to ensure that the jobs coming to town are good jobs. Otherwise, it may just not be worth the public investment in manufacturing employment.
Putting the Valley first, Kenesha Dees, WZDX News.